Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1328.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about the stock market having 5 consecutive months of gains. And we've been talking about this year looking strong into the month of May. So far, things are right on target. Year to date, the S&P 500 is up 9.7%, which is just about what the NASDAQ is up, 9.44% year to date. Pretty incredible since technology seemed to have a very narrow market with the Magnificent Seven leading the way, but it was really the Magnificent Five since we have Tesla and Apple lagging in that group. But still, technology seems to have been getting most of the assets and most of the attention. But it's interesting to see that metals have come roaring back in the last month. We have the silver junior miners up 16.5% in the last month, as well as the gold junior miners and the large cap miners up over 11% in the last month. So precious metals are making a roaring comeback. That, along with crypto markets really taking off. And you can see that heading into April, we'll probably start to see a little bit of frothiness. And around May or June, that may be the time frame where we see the pullback start to come. With the Federal Reserve announcing 3 probable rate cuts this year, that really sent markets off on a tear and interest rates dropping ahead of the Fed cutting rates. Markets are still extremely bullish, which puts us in the greed category, but I'm not concerned because sometimes you can stay in that greed category for longer than you expect. But I do think we will see a pullback in a couple of months. Now, inflation has been about 3%, which is above the Fed's 2% target rate, but it's moved a lot in the right direction. And this being an election year, well, we're not surprised to see the Fed talk about cutting rates 3 times. The narrative is still all about AI, and we had a couple of stocks have an IPO last week, and they did very well. But even Reddit, a social media company, had the term AI all over their SEC filing report, which meant that they don't want to be known just for social media. They're trying to benefit from the AI trend as well. This week, we'll hear about inflation through the February Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index, which is what the Fed really likes to look at to gauge inflation. And that'll be released Friday morning, which is Good Friday, and the markets are closed. So we'll get that information without a stock market reaction. We'll have to wait till Monday to see how markets like those numbers. So here we have all 3 major indexes crossing fresh all-time closing highs. Not all that unexpected with inflation coming down and interest rates coming down, but interestingly, we have had the dollar a little bit stronger this year, up 3%. And that puts a headwind against stocks. But once the Fed starts to cut, which I still am predicting May to be the first rate cut, if not May, then June, and those rate cuts will likely see the dollar fall and precious metals rise some more. So even though we had the Fed talking for a couple of days last week, the Dow added 2% and the S&P 500 added 2.3% in a week, while the NASDAQ jumped 2.9% for the week. So it was a very eventful week. The market's moving on the good news that the Fed is planning to cut interest rates. They announced it, and that's a really good sign that will help rates trend lower ahead of any action that the Fed will take. So things are still looking good. Even though markets are a little bit overheated, we still have higher to go before that pullback is coming. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available. And all of my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more tips for your financial freedom. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. share the wealth, and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.